Hey guys, good morning. This is my channel Engelgeist. This is Dan. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, I'm not awake this morning. I'm on my second cup of coffee. I woke up to it was really dark this morning and raining, and so I'm having a hard time waking up. I don't know. I just spent the last hour laying in bed. The cat had me up at like before 6 a.m. And so I'm a little out of it. I'm gonna try and do this reading because I need to get it done because I have class this afternoon. So welcome to the channel. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me on Patreon, thank you so very much. You guys know how to support the channel. I say it every video. So those of you that are watching, please like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go look at another one of my videos, and the description as to how to support the channel is included in there. This is your Sunday forecast for not only the day of Sunday, but it also is the underpinning energy of the week, right? So we're looking at the 21st through the 27th of June. This is a timeless message, so if this is not any of those dates that you're, looking at when it comes up on your, wherever you're watching it from, that's okay. You might be in tune to whatever the message is in some of these cards, or all of these cards, or maybe only one of these cards, but you don't have to turn it off. I believe that, Spirit has a way of bringing us exactly what we need when we need it. So trusting that, this becomes a timeless message also. But for my regular viewers, this is what we're looking at for the energy between June 21st through the 27th. Each card will represent for about a day or two. Some of them you may experience, some of them you may not. It's all very flexible. You have to apply it to your life where you see fit. So let's see what's going on for the collective. God, I am just like so out of it. It's crazy. I need to wake up. Okay. All right. So the beginning of the week for us is the Two of Rings. Okay. This is also sort of like the Two of Pentacles, and this is fluctuation and adaptability. So I always see that in the traditional Two of Pentacles, there's always that guy like sort of juggling those two pentacles amidst that sort of like an infinity symbol that's kind of tilted. So to me, it is about finding balance. Excuse me for yawning. Sorry, guys. Twos always also represent sort of like the deepening of relationships to me, or connections, right? One and one coming together. And so this being the element of earth, pentacles, this means that like we might be sort of, having to be adaptable, finding balance in our day-to-day world. We ended off with that Five of Swords energy at the end of the week last week. So this might be sort of bringing some of that sort of competitive or negative thinking into balance, right? This mountain range and these clouds to me don't necessarily feel like the world around us is the most ideal. They do feel like it's sort of challenging, but there's also a beauty in the challenge. Let's say that, right? For some of you, I don't know why, but these two rings together are making me think of marriage. I don't know if that's necessarily something. There could be couplings or material relationships that begin to come together this week, in the early part of this week, or attractions begin to take place. I don't know. It's just those two rings bonded together, definitely giving me marriage vibes. I'm not sure. That might be only specific to one person, or somebody might get proposed to that watches this. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. But I do feel like there is this, how do I want to say this? It's kind of like looking at the struggle, right? The struggle is real, and finding balance within that struggle for ourselves, finding where we fit and where we're best suited, and creating that balance for ourselves. I feel like emotionally in the beginning part of the week, we're going to be okay. That's this sort of placid lake down here. That to me represents sort of the water, the emotions of everything. The mountain range to me, it feels like there's like, maybe problems. Hey, don't fight in here now. Go off somewhere else, please. The cat, sorry. You guys, cut it out. I swear it's like they wait until I get on video. And then they start acting up. Okay. Now, I was saying this mountain range looks like problems upon problems, and what I mean by that is that they may not be problems that directly affect us, but they're problems that we're aware of, right? This mountain range maybe is more, this darker mountain range to me feels more like our immediate environment, things we need to deal with. They may be challenges, but they're not, insurmountable. But then there's this like sort of hidden mountain looming in the background, right? This is like further away mountain. That to me might be more world stage issues or things we're noticing on Facebook, things that are frustrating us, whatever that may be. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit more harder or more of a challenge, harder to sort of harness, bypass, get around, even climb maybe, like to even deal with, right? But what I like about these two sort of rings here is it's about sort of finding that relationship either with a significant other or, it could be a family member, it could be, I always say this, it could be a friend, a family member, or a romantic partner. But finding that balance between you and a significant other, and if that's not with a significant other for some of you, then it's finding that balance within yourself. Finding that connectivity and being adaptable within yourself so that you can deal with the things and stay sort of grounded and, like this mountain range to me feels like dealing with what's right in front of us. Taking on sort of the more, taking it like, bit by bit, step by step, dealing with those things in a practical kind of, balanced manner. And in doing so brings about more balance into our life, right? This fluctuation feels like it says the word fluctuation and adaptability. We can be adaptable to whatever the, sort of life throws at us. So be willing to sort of change that, shift that, balance that in any given moment. There could be challenges for some of you in the beginning of the week with this card, but I don't feel like these challenges are insurmountable or anything that we can't sort of face or, like I said, adapt to. Now the second card, this is the midweek card. So this is the Ace of Swords. I love it. Okay, so this is breakthrough and mental focus. So this sword is cutting through the clouds completely, and aces always speak to the idea of inspiration, divine thought, some sort of new path that we maybe didn't see or didn't think about, it being the element of air in the mental realm, a swords card. It's definitely going to be, excuse me for yawning, it's definitely going to be around our mind, our thoughts, seeing things in a new way. I think that some of this balance that's coming from this rings card or this pentacles card and this adaptability is also what sort of ushers in this opportunity of this Ace of Swords to come in and sort of create clear-cut thinking for us. See, the clouds are parting, the light is shining through. We're also supported. Not only do we have this singular sword here, but we have these two sort of almost like what I would call spirit swords. We may have our guides or our higher self talking to us at this time. This could be supported by other actual physical people in our lives, but they may be in the background, right? These sort of feel faint to me. That's why I get this sort of spirit vibe from them. But whatever it is that is supporting us, it's aiding us and supporting us in sort of getting to this clear mental thinking. It's shaking off whatever that stuff was that we were dealing with, all that swords energy last week. Especially on Saturday with that Five of Swords. To me, it's like sort of standing in our own truth, making clear-cut decisions, choosing, a clear path or something that we maybe didn't realize was there, and moving in that direction by the midweek. And also not like sort of allowing the whatever's going on around us to sort of influence us at this point. Like this is sort of an empowered position where we get to move forward through our own thinking, right? So let's see what the end of the week card is. The end of the week card, we're always ending on cups. What is that about? So this is the Seven of Cups, and the words for this is speculation and opportunity. The Seven of Cups usually is sort of like an illusion card to me. Speculation, though, makes me think of, taking everything in. The Seven of Cups is usually represented by all of these different things, like one too many things at the sort of smorgasbord or at the buffet, and which one do we choose, and is this one grounded in reality? Is that one really practical? Is that completely impractical? It's got that sort of a vibe to it. But I like that this one, even though it's got all of these different elements in these different cups, I love that it says opportunity. there is an opportunity to be had here. Emotionally, we need to sort of go through with this clear thinking thought of the Ace of Swords, right? And the balance that we have in the earth energy at the beginning of the week, which brings us to this clearer, inspired thought. It brings us to this place where we can deal with stuff maybe a little bit emotionally and make some really definitive decisions that could be good for us moving forward in, say, the week to come. We might be, by week's end of this week, reflecting upon the different options that we have going on and how we feel about them. That is the Seven of Cups. We're taking everything in, maybe doing an inventory, going, is this working for me? Is that working for me? Letting things sort of fall to the wayside that don't seem practical, maybe. That's also sort of that Two of Pentacles energy in the beginning of the week. We've kind of sort of exercised our practical muscles in the beginning of the week. It sort of led for us to me, I'm almost getting like a cleaning house vibe with this Seven of Cups, emotionally cleaning house. And that's due to not only the balance and the strength that we have in this Two of Pentacles, but also in this Ace of Swords energy too, this inspired clarity, like a new clarity that's coming about in the midweek. So by the week's end, it's sort of like we're sorting through the things that, like, is this practical? Is this not practical? Do I feel good about this? Is this making me feel right? That kind of a thing. And from that, there is this opportunity of gaining and making a decision or a choice, which is generally Seven's energy, that will hopefully lead us to a better feeling place, that will hopefully lead us to more opportunity, to things that are more in line for us, or what we want to sort of see happen. Right? And I feel like all of these cards are gearing us up for something. I don't know if it's in July or if it's the last week of June, but whatever that might be, and each of you, it may be something different. Whatever it is, there's definitely a clarity that's taking place here, certainly by the midweek, with that Ace of Swords, that allows us the opportunity and the strength to sort of stand on our own, feel supported, and then dig about in these this Seven of Cups energy and start, removing things or letting go of whatever doesn't serve us or we don't want or is impractical, and hopefully choosing what is our heart's desire, or at least choosing clearer paths towards our heart's desire. Does that make sense? Figuring that out for ourselves. Now let's see what the Starseed Oracle has to say. You are not alone. And I said this in this first off, we had this bonding or this relationship deepening in the Two of Rings, but we also had this support with these invisible swords, right? This spirit thing. So we've seen this card before, and it says, I cannot read, I forgot my glasses. I'm a mess this morning. Isolation, physical connection, and community. Okay? So I think in this sort of, I feel like this, every time I see this card, I feel like this is the spirit self discussing with the mirror of the spirit self discussing with the actual physical or mental self, right? We've got her up here, which represents more the spirit side. She's got this electricity going to the hand of what I believe to be the more like earthbound or incarnate aspects of ourselves, right? The ego, the mind, that sort of thing. Up here, we have the soul and the spirit kind of communicating back and forth. It can also represent, this can be a sort of a spirit guide here, sort of channeling information to us. But we are not alone. And that's reflected in this Ace of Swords card, right? With these two swords supporting us in the background. We have guides, we have angels, we have our own resources from our own higher self, our own knowledge base within ourselves, that if we access it, we start to trust it, we begin to choose from it. Hence this Seven of Cups energy. Deepen that connection to it, like with this Two of Pentacles energy in the beginning of the week. We're going to figure out that even though we may be alone physically, that's the isolation aspect of this You Are Not Alone card. We might actually be making these decisions on our own or feeling alone. We will feel supported and inspired by the choices that we get to make, if that makes sense, right? So we need to trust that, and we need to stay focused on the fact that even though we might be, what's the word? I would say a little bit challenged. I don't feel like there's a ton of challenge here, because by the midweek with that Ace of Swords, it feels like challenges sort of fall away, or the challenges become more personal in nature by the week's end with the Seven of Cups. It's more about us doing the work so that we can make a clear and defined choice, or choose what's best for us and what's practical or going to serve us the most at this time. So let's see what the grounding stone has to say. What energy do we need to ground in? Keeping in mind that this is the energy for the week, okay? So this is the underpinning energy of the week that we want to ground in. The idea is this is carnelian, which is definitely the base chakra, the root chakra. This is give, which the root chakra is a great place to ground from. Give to me is the idea of not only being generous or giving out. What do we need to give to ourselves? What can we give to our communities? What can we put forth? Where do we create that balance? By giving that balance to ourselves. Give is also very inspiring in the sense of that Ace of Swords, that idea of being generous, like sort of shifting our focus from a place of lack or what we need to sort of what we can give. And I'm not saying necessarily we have to give outwardly to others, right? We can, certainly, and that's definitely the energy of this stone, and that also brings about this idea of not being alone, too. When we're able to give to others, we understand that we're needed, we're relied upon, we are appreciated, but we can also utilize this energy of giving to ourselves, right? That requires us to sort of have this conversation with ourselves at a deeper level, to acknowledge what is it that we need. Right? And that's the Seven of Cups energy too by week's end. It's like this sorting out of the emotions of, is this practical for me? Is this what I want? Does this make me happy? That sort of energy is also this idea of getting clearer and giving to yourself. It brings about we have the clarity of the thought in the Ace of Swords. We have the balancing of the Two of Pentacles. So emotionally, we're coming to this place by week's end of acknowledging what it is we want, where it is we want to give ourselves exactly that, and doing that, right? Because when we're in a happier place, or when we're in a place of receiving, right, we can be much more sort of at peace and happy, right? And to be in a better place of receiving, you have to understand sort of how to be able to give, right? So I think that the focus of this grounding stone is sort of where, first and foremost, where can you be of most service to yourself this week? That's definitely sort of the focus. Inspiration will come at the midweek in your thought and in your mind. You have to take that inspiration and utilize it. Make clear-cut decisions, even if by week's end you are finding yourself maybe not confused, but challenged by a myriad of options or things that don't seem completely practical. It will be up to you to sort of give yourself the time, give yourself the, focus, whatever it is that you need so that you can sort through that Seven of Cups energy and make that decision for yourself, reminding yourself that you are not alone, that you are doing this not only for yourself, but, ultimately for your community, for the world at large, for those that you love. It all affects everybody positively if we, set our intentions in that way. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. That is your forecast for the week of the 21st through the 27th. I'm sorry, I'm super tired. It's really a weird day here. I want to go back to bed. I have class and a house showing. It's like, yeah. So that, sorry guys, I'm a little scattered this morning. I hope that this all makes sense. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I look forward to seeing what energies build upon these cards as we move through the week. Please tune in, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, take care. I love you. Bye-bye.